Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. You know, a lot of conversation we have on this channel, we've actually had it just recently talking about Tim Banks and what he's done for Tennessee and how he is likely to end up with some head coaching offers after this season. We saw it with Alex Golesh, and that's ultimately a good problem. That tells me that you've got good coaches. They know how to develop talent. They know how to evaluate talent. They know how to game plan. If other schools are seeking out your coaches, you're doing something right. Well, the same can be said on the recruiting trail. This popped up on Twitter just a little while ago, and a lot of you guys tagging me up saying, Boogie, should we be concerned? Douglas Utu, new prediction, flipping from Tennessee to Oregon. Steve Wiltfong and Chad Simmons have both put in their expert predictions for Oregon to flip Tennessee four-star interior offensive lineman commit Douglas Utu. If you go down to the comments there on the bottom right, you can see Deson Brame, who flipped from Oregon to Tennessee, asking big Douglas Utu to stay home. Now, Chad Simmons logged his first prediction earlier today, and then Steve Wiltfong joined him. According to Wiltfong, he said, after talking to a source with knowledge around this recruitment, I have decided to join Chad Simmons with this prediction. Now, is this the end-all, be-all? Is this the final hour? Is this over? You have to continue to recruit your guys all the way up until signing day. We know that, but we're going to get into it. We're going to see what the experts and the insiders have to say. But first, I need you guys to do that YouTube stuff for me. Just smash the thumbs up just below the video here. It's quick, free, easy, and it helps the channel. I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We don't claim to be experts or insiders. We don't try to pretend to be something we're not. We're fans. We're fans talking about, speculating on the information that is out there on the internet. We all have access to it, so we come here to the Talkin VAWLS Network to talk about it. If you like that style of show, think about subscribing, clicking that bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. I had a fun morning stream this morning with Coach Jay. If you missed that, go back, give it a watch, get you geared up, ready to go for tomorrow's game against Oklahoma. We're going to drop a game day preview bright and early tomorrow. Coach Jay going to break down the Oklahoma defense. Coach Rice going to break down the offense. We're going to do a tailgate show an hour before kickoff, and then we'll be live immediately following the game. Big one for Tennessee tomorrow night, so I hope you'll come join us and hang out for that. But let's talk about Douglas Utu. If you're not familiar with him, again, committed to Tennessee back on June the 24th, kind of came out of nowhere, right? He's a guy that we weren't really talking a whole lot about, commits to Tennessee. You can see the profile there on the screen, four-star interior offensive lineman, 57 overall. That's a big-time prospect. Scouting report, if you're not familiar with him, from this is from Greg Biggins over at 247 Sports, says Utu is one of the more accomplished high school linemen in the 2025 class. He'll be a four-year starter for one of the nation's top high school programs and has played both guard and tackle. Says he looked like a prototype right tackle at the next level. That's worth noting when we get into this here. Prototype right tackle at the next level, although he could easily slide inside and play guard as well if needed. He does have tackle feet and prototype frame, pushing 6'6", 300 pounds with plenty of length. He's technically sound with good feet and balance, moves well laterally, is equally strong as a run blocker and pass protector. He's a physical player, strong at the point of attack, and is a finisher. Natural bender with strong punch. He has the quickness to recover against speed rushers and the strength to hold his ground against bull rushers. He's plenty aggressive as well and has the nastiness needed to excel in the trenches. He has the talent to play for any program in the country and has a definite NFL upside to him as well. You guys know we were high on Douglas Utu. The coaches were high on Douglas Utu. Loved having him in the boat. Is he going to stay in the boat or is he going to jump? Is he going to flip to Oregon? Well, let's get into that side of it and let's kind of break it down and take a look at what the experts and the insiders are saying. This is an article from Scoop Duck. This is not behind a paywall, so I have no problem sharing this. Oregon trending. We like to throw that buzzword around for four-star offensive linemen. Says some big news on Friday afternoon as a pair of Oregon predictions have come in for a big-time offensive lineman. Both Steve Wiltfong and Chad Simmons have logged 60% predictions for the Ducks to flip Tennessee offensive lineman Douglas Utu. Committed to Tennessee over Oregon, Miami, and others on June the 24th. Ranked 57th overall, number 4 interior offensive lineman nationally. Now, it goes on to talk a little bit about some of the guys already committed. The relationship said the Ducks could be building one of the better offensive line classes in the country if they can manage these flips. So let's start with Steve Wiltfong and Chad Simmons. Why are they making these predictions? Where or is this information coming from? And again, I've not seen anything put out by Chad Simmons, just saw that his prediction came in. But from Steve Wiltfong's perspective, again, he followed Chad Simmons, said, talk to somebody with source, a knowledge around that recruitment. But then he also said, what's the selling point here? Why is Oregon putting on the full court press on Douglas Utu, and when did that start? And he said, well, it started when Tennessee landed five-star offensive tackle David Sanders, the number 2 overall player in the country, the number 1 offensive lineman in the country. David Sanders, absolutely huge pickup for Tennessee, and that's when Oregon really started to put on the pressure. And again, you go back to that scouting report from Greg Biggins and says he could be a prototypical right tackle. Does he see David Sanders as a hurdle that he would have to go over in order? Because you look at Lance Hurt. Lance Hurt's just a sophomore, right? So the future for the next couple of years is going to be Lance Hurd and David Sanders at those tackle positions. And don't sleep on guys like Bennett Warren. This staff is high on Jesse Perry. There's a lot of guys. That's why Tennessee really shifted the focus to the interior. And again, that's what Douglas Utu is listed as, interior. But you see Greg Biggins say prototypical frame for tackle. We know that tackle is the money position, right? You're going to pay more for those guys on the bookend out there playing the tackle position. So does Douglas Utu see Oregon as an opportunity to do that? Steve Wiltfong went on to say that Oregon is losing 6 out of their top 7 offensive linemen, and Utu is a guy that could push to start there immediately. Here's a quote directly from Wiltfong. He said the Oregon staff had good dialogue with the Utu camp on Thursday, and Simmons indicated things are developing fast between the two parties. Now, who do I think's the best when it comes to Tennessee Vols recruiting? That's Austin Price. This morning, they just put out an update over there that said Oregon and USC were both working on Douglas Utu. They were both trying to get Utu to flip. He actually took a visit a couple of weeks ago to South Carolina with a bunch of his teammates from Bishop Gorman. They went down there. They played together at Mater Day before he transferred to Bishop Gorman. They went down there to USC, took in a visit. But then, this was as of this morning. AP said that he continues to have good dialogue with Tennessee, and as of now, we feel like the Vols are still in tremendous shape to hold on to this one. So then I go scroll through VolQuest because so many people were tagging me up wanting to know what was going on here. So I wanted to come down here and make a video, and I went to check and see if AP had put out any recent updates. About an hour or so ago, as of the time of this recording, this is what AP had to say. He said he spoke to some people in the recruiting world in the last few minutes, and it sounds like a flip is imminent. So this is not good news when it comes to Douglas Utu. Said he's had good dialogue with Tennessee. They felt still good about him when he checked up this week, but it sounds like this one is going in another direction. So where does Tennessee go from here? If you look at the class of 2025, you've got Nick Moore committed on the interior. He's a guy that a lot of people felt like could be the center of the future, but we're also seeing good things from William Satterwhite, right? The question mark going into this 2024 season was who was going to be the backup center. Was it going to be Vyson Lang or was it going to be William Satterwhite? William Satterwhite's got a lot of run. That's the beautiful thing about these first 3 games and getting blowouts, giving these young guys an opportunity to get some playing time. And William Satterwhite is a guy that's kind of held down that center position. So is he the future at center? And then maybe Nick Moore can come in and play on that offensive line as a guard. And then you've got big Anthony Aguimora, obviously already committed in this class as well. We've got some good offensive linemen, boys. You don't want to see a guy like Douglas Utu go elsewhere, but we've got some solid foundations there that Glenn Ellerby has been able to add. And you're seeing this flip, right? You're seeing Douglas Utu flipping to Oregon. Well, guess what? Tennessee's got an opportunity tomorrow to go make their statement. That's been kind of the buzzword all morning on the morning show. Tennessee's going to make a statement tomorrow night against Oklahoma. You go make a statement. You roll through this first half of the season. You roll into that Alabama game 6-0. Other kids around the country are going to take notice, and Tennessee is going to have their shot to flip some guys as well. What do you guys think? Jump into the comment section. Let's talk about Douglas Utu. Is the sky falling? Or is everything going to be okay on Rocky Top? Huge game coming up tomorrow. Again, make sure you guys check out the video bright and early, the game day breakdown from Coach Jay, Coach Rice, tailgate show an hour before kickoff, and then also the post-game show immediately after the game. Do me a favor, smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about this thing. Shout out to all you members. We could not do this without you. Think about hitting that join button. It's right beside subscribe. You can do that for as little as $1 a month. It helps the channel, keeps the lights on, allows me to do these morning shows with Coach Jay on Friday and with Eric Kane on Monday. And we appreciate those of you that support the channel by being a member of this place. So that is going to do it. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Catch you guys tomorrow for the tailgate show. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.